our first day to get the guys back in the building, get them moving a little bit, and a little introduction to Carolina, and then tomorrow will be a real good work day for us to get ready for those guys. So, questions?
You got Jamison back since we talked to you last. Just what's the plan to work him back in, I guess?
Yeah, we just got to see where he's at, with football. I mean, this will be his first week back, and so we'll take it every day, see how he does.
Probably keep him, focused as far as even coming back and not feel like I got to make up for lost time. Just coming in and, adding an addition. How do you guys do that with him as well?
Yeah, look, I think what we've done a really good job of in these 4 weeks is, as we know, we are by committee. We are, the way that we've had production is it's taken all of us. That O-line's important to us, and our skill guys stepping up. That's from tight ends to backs to receivers, and so everybody's got a job to do, and your number will get called at a certain time. But we're not one guy's carrying a load. That's not how we work here. Certainly, we have players that we depend on in that on that side of the ball that have come up big for us. You know who they are, but no, I think that's just man. He just needs to come in, and I'm not worried about him working. He will, and it's just about polishing all the little things. And we also know if he does play, he can't play 60 plays. That's not smart. So we can't do that to him. So we'll see where it goes, and it's all about improvement. No different than the rest of the team, man. Every week we just got to get a little bit better. He just needs to get a little bit better, and we'll take it from there.
You talked about the importance sometimes for this roster, for this coaching staff to go through valleys to just maybe remind you of wherever you are, where you got to go. That Carolina game was an anomaly last year. You got your butts kicked in a pretty good stretch for you in 2022. So what value did that game provide going forward for you, your coaching staff, your roster, to, I guess, maybe reset where you were in expectations?
Yeah, well, look, I think that, I kind of mentioned it to the guys this morning, just about don't ride the roller coaster, don't get on that ride. The ups and downs, that was a big win. That's an awful loss. Just stay in the race. Stay in the race with where we're at. There'll be teams that'll rise, there'll be teams that'll fall, but as long as we handle our business each week, and no different than what we did. We went out to Green Bay and we looked like a hungry team. We looked focused on the details. We played together. We played violent, and we made the plays that were there. We played complementary football, and I think as long as we keep that as the focus and not about who you're playing, who do they have up, what are the injuries, what is the weather, forget that, man. This is another opponent who's dying for a win. They got a damn good coaching staff. They got real good players, and we all know what they're capable of. I mean, look what happened yesterday. Look at all these scores. Look at these teams that, you can go right across the board, and everybody's talking about that's the next Super Bowl winner because how many points they put up, and then all of a sudden they lose yesterday. And it's like, none of that is reality. So this is the next one in front of us, and to have a chance to win it, you got to take it serious, and you got to have a good game plan, and they got to be ready to execute, and they got to have their motor running. That's the focus.
There's so much talk around him, right? He's a first-round pick, but he didn't play much last year because of the injury, and then missing this time the injury. What are realistic expectations for him? Like, not just this week, but I guess from you guys for this season for him?
Honestly, for me, it's dependability. That's it. Reliability, dependability. Going to line up, know where you're supposed to be. We're going to get the depth out of you, and we can count on you to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, and that's it. That's it. I'm not looking for yards. I'm not looking for explosives. Not looking for touchdowns. Just be a reliable receiver, like any of those guys in the room. That's it. And to me, that's a good year. Because we're about winning. It's not about one player, and that'll help us win.
How close is Emmanuel to maybe working himself back? And you guys are playing great defense, especially in the back end there. But what does his addition mean for that unit, that back end?
Well, it makes us better. We believe it'll make us better. He's another guy we'd like to see if we can get going this week. And there again, if he does, he's a guy that we don't feel like it'd be smart to play him 60 plays either. But he's certainly somebody that we feel like, all right, let's get a look at this week. Feel like the time's right. He'll get a little bit. Jerry will still certainly would take the load, but I think the plan is to get E-Man worked in.
One more from that Carolina game. I guess the defining trait for them was their ability to run the football against you that day. You guys have been very good against the run to start this year. There was some schematic tweaks made by AG in the offseason. How much maybe did that game enlighten you the need to make those schematic tweaks, and how pleased have you been with their implementation thus far?
Yeah, I think honestly, it really wasn't. Look, and I kind of said this, I think I alluded to this when I put that on me. That was not tweaks and defense, and we were not ready. We were not emotionally ready to go, I think, more than anything, because we didn't necessarily do anything different than we had going in there. We got strung out on a couple of things. We got knocked down, on a couple of these down blocks that now we opened 2 gaps and your linebackers trying to fill 2 holes, and it was a collective, and I felt like it was more of, I just feel like we were ready for the fight. And when you're in defense and you play in some of these hard spots that gets no recognition when you do your job, it's a hard life in there. And if you don't, handle your job, everybody else gets exposed too defensively. And so I feel like it was more that than anything. We just didn't look. Those guys had played Pittsburgh the week before. They had gotten embarrassed, and they came out ready to go. They had a lot of yards run on them, and then they took it serious, and we weren't ready to go, which was really on me. So I think, we know that that's this league. That's what can happen if you're not ready. We know what they're capable of. So as it pertains to what you do in and out, dude, AG's doing a hell of a job. The defense has been on fire here. And really, we've played 3 damn good games defensively, honestly. And so, and one that, isn't up to our standards, but it also looks a lot worse because you spot them 14 points on offense. But I like where we're going. If we take a step back, we're going to struggle to win. That's a fact. That's where we're at. But if we handle our business, we'll have a chance to win.
You're still pretty good against the run in that one game, against Seattle. Walker didn't have a big day. So what have you guys been doing so well against where you lead the league in run defense right now after 4 weeks?
Well, I think we've got some growth in that area. I think Mac's playing pretty good for us. Benito's been good. Thought Bug stepped in the other day and did some good things for us. Certainly Hutch is a better player. I think you can go across that board, and I think our linebackers are playing at a high level too, across the board. I think that's Alex, I think that's Barnes, and I think that's Campbell, all 3 of them. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things, and I just think we're better, we're more mature, we're a little bit more developed, and we're a little bit better with talent. And AG's doing a hell of a job.
Big plays from Alim McNeill the last couple of weeks. What is that presence there in the middle? What does that do?
It's been big. It really has. It's don't take that for granted. And I think some of what you're seeing, I feel like it's really, Hutch is disruptive. You feel like every week you can see how, just he's relentless and his craft and what he's able to do, but I feel like it's really coming even more to light because of Mac too. Mac being able to be a force inside is making a difference. And one of those sacks we had today, it was actually Mac's, was him doing exactly what we talked about on a stunt game. He ricochets off the tackle and Hutch loops inside and the quarterback's nowhere to go, and Alim actually ended up getting the sack out of it, just trying to really set up Hutch for a sack, and he got his. So that's just the combination of guys doing their job, but he's becoming a disruptive force in there, and he's in a good place right now.
Jared,
John, Jeremy.
Yep. Jared's had now a stretch here on multiple games without interceptions. Have you noticed that he's pressing in any way or anything that you've seen that he's gotten away from to keep him a bit cleaner this last stretch?
No, it's nobody wants those. We don't, but I don't feel like he's pressing. He'll tell you he made an error. He made a mistake. He's falling away in the pocket. It makes ill-advised throws. His eyes are on the receiver. And best part about it was he didn't get frazzled. He went right back to work, and he didn't let it. We were fortunate it didn't hurt us because our defense went right out and put the fire out. So, and that's what you got to be able to do is overcome those errors. But no, I don't feel any panic, and he came up to me right after the game. He was like, "Look, believe me, he knows, and he doesn't want it to happen. But what I want more than anything is I don't want him to go into a shell or start panicking, and he's not. And I love that. So it's something that he's thinking about. We'll be on top of, and the ability to overcome those, because some of those will happen, is that helps you win, certainly.
Since we won't talk to you until Friday, do you have an update now that they're back in the building with Decker and Branch and Kirby as well?
Yeah, it's early in the week. Don't really know on all those guys. I can't really give you one or one way or another. I think Deck will be okay, and it's hard to say with the other guys. We'll know more every day.
Coach Kamish had 7 quarterback pressures against Green Bay. What is impressive most about him, whether it's in the run D or the pass rush?
With
Kamish.
Oh man, Kamish is he's kind of the secret sauce to all of it. The Kamish. He's the ultimate hard hat guy. He's got his lunch pail and his hard hat, and he just comes in and puts in a damn good day's worth of work. And look, he was responsible for shutting down the 2-point conversion the other day too. I mean, that was a heck of a job fighting through the block to keep that a 2-score game. But Kamish is just somebody, we talked about a minute ago with players, dependability, reliability. Like he fits that to a T. He handles a lot of jobs for us. He handles the big end. He can play 3 technique inside. He's really one of the keys to us setting up our rush game when we get in 3rd down and some of those things. He's physical. He's got push. He can separate, and he can play the run. So. He's just kind of he's a little bit of the unsung hero for us on the D-line.
Can I squeeze in one more since we don't get you to Friday? Just want to put a bow on this talk about last year for me. You said you put it on you. So what did you change about your approach to make sure you get your guys emotionally ready every week? What did you learn?
Yeah, well, look, we're going to approach, tomorrow's practice just like we did for Atlanta, except it'll be more reps. We backed off a little bit for Atlanta, but yet we padded up, man. We took it serious. We went after it. And so, to me, we're going to go back and we're going to press the issue. I owe it to these players to do that, and so I'm going to do that.